So,
Are we going now? Right.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So today we're going to talk about plants. It could be plants in the garden. You'll see I've got some plants behind me. I like plants in the house.
Beautiful.
What kind of plants do you have around where you live? Vladimir, where do you live?
This is a Russian city in Bashkirian Republic called Ufa, and
Right.
we usually grow here tomatoes and cucumbers, maybe and potatoes. Of course, it is our favorite kind of food. And
yes.
the most incredible thing about that it was brought from the USA. Or maybe South America, I don't remember. And
yes, it was the USA. It came here from the USA. They were growing naturally.
And it turned out that it became our favorite food, and there is no family that ignores such kind of
yes,
vegetables.
It's the same in England. Yes, that's our favorite.
Yes, I thought.
Yes.
I didn't expect to hear that. I thought I have a book that relate to cooking, and I was perusing this book and find out that you stick to some kind of food closer to Germans, according to that book.
No.
Because it was written by a chief who runs his own restaurant in Moscow. That's why I just didn't know.
Yeah. No, potatoes are our favorite as well. We can't grow rice here. We can grow wheat, so we have nice bread. But if you're having a meal, potatoes are the big one. These days for cooking, English people like food from all around the world. We have a lot of different people living in England, lots of Indian people. So now the favourite food in England is curry. Everybody loves Indian curry. So yeah, we do eat some rice, but we have to import it. It's potatoes in traditional English, really. What about you, Alexandra? What grows in your house or around it?
I have some house plants, of course, but honestly, I'm bad at planting.
Right.
Yeah, I have some plants, but my parents look after them.
Right. Hi, Mr. Hi, Vladislav.
Hello.
Hello, my dear.
How are you doing, Jane?
We've just started talking.
How are you doing, Vladimir?
Sorry?
Oh, are you talking about? Are you talking about planets or plants?
Plants.
Like that, right?
You see behind me, my house plants. I put a few there.
For some people, those are planets, indeed.
Yeah, planets, plants. Yeah. So that's great. That's great. So I'm happy to be here. So I just wrote the comment that I will be here today. So
we're happy
I'm very
to
happy
have
to
you.
meet you, Jane.
Very nice to meet you.
I'm
too.
very happy. It's Monday. It's Monday.
Yep.
Thank you, man. Thank you, ma'am.
We were talking about the kinds of plants that grow in your country that you like to eat. We were talking about potatoes because English. Oh, there's a noise on here. England grows a lot of potatoes very easily, and we like to eat potatoes. Where do you live?
I'm from Kurdistan, Iraq.
Oh, right. So you eat lots of rice?
Yes.
Right.
We like China just because of the rice.
Yeah. Oh, I do like rice.
So And about the potato, I like potato. Just I like boiled potato because sometimes I work out and my body needs protein, and the more I eat boiled potato, the more I get protein. So that's how I build up my muscle.
Right. Yeah, yeah. How are you, Vladislav? I know we're talking about plants. I know you have nice woodland around you, or forest. What kind of plants do you like?
Hello everyone. I know all. I know you all. I hope you're fine today. All you're fine. Oh, in Ukraine, lots of different plants are grown because we have different climate zones here, and this is a country with great agricultural background. We export lots of agricultural things. We grow, I don't know, grains and potatoes and fruits and vegetables, and in different parts we have a subtropical zone in Ukraine as well, and in Crimea, for example, they are grown even now. It's not Crimea to my regret, but it will. Situation will be restored in the future. Absolutely, I'm confident about it. But we grow even figs in Crimea. Even figs are grown. But different things, things. And as for my favorite, maybe I don't know, some people say in Africa are grown the best fruits. I agree, because African fruits are tasty, but I think we have much bigger diversity. We have plums, we have apples, we have pears, apricots. So I even can say that I like something the most. But I'm of Rum background. I'm not Ukrainian, absolutely. I'm Rum. This is part Greek, part Turkish minority in Ukraine. We live in Ukraine. We are coming from Crimea. We have Crimean background. Yes, and these people, they really enjoy fruits, and traditionally they grew vineyards, grapes, watermelons, and melons. That was our traditional production for centuries in Crimea. But later, in 19th century, after Crimean Khanate was Islamic State, became part of Russian Empire, fruits, how to say, they started growing plants, started growing different things that they are not usual for Crimea, because Crimea, this is a place for fruits. I am absolutely confident. One fantastic fruits grow there. So this is what I know about Ukraine. What I say about Ukraine.
Right. I'll tell you one kind of plant I'm particularly interested in from other.
From what?
Other countries use plants as medicine. It's something that really interests me. So if you've got anything to talk about that, I'm going to show you one of my favorite ones. I don't know if you know this one. This is aloe vera. Yes. And
in many houses we have such plants.
Yeah. I just like hearing about how people use traditional medicine. Oh, you've got some already. Excellent.
Hello. In Ukraine we use this, but people take it with the honey, This plant with the honey. If you have some kind of wounds, yes, we use it with the honey and take like medicine. Yes.
We usually use it when we stick to the throat. For instance, if we have a couple spoons of it, it will surely help us to keep fit, keep health after all.
Good, very good for your stomach, yeah. Well, you can see I'm a big fan of cactus. We have to keep them as house plants.
As we do.
Because, they'll die outside in the winter, but they're lovely. I really like them.
It's quite a strange thing that so many common things between people who live so far from each other. Uh, uh, as
Yes,
as far as I understood, you grow the same vegetables, put the same plants on your uh, I don't know
in my
windsill.
house.
So we do, and but I can't recall how it came to that. Who borrowed from who? Such habits.
Yes, yes.
It's nature.
But it doesn't matter. I mean, it's one of the things I find very interesting about these talks is how much we've got in common. So many things that are different are interesting too, you know. I love talking to you guys
Thank you.
because I learn such a lot.
And you know,
Uh, but about
sorry.
the planet, plants. Some so sorry.
I
Uh,
just,
Oh,
about the plants, because there are there are variety of plants that they just it's they are seasonal. So maybe in some countries they have good weather for such let's say certain plants, so you can grow that there. But in my country, palm trees are everywhere
oh, lovely.
but
You know what?
mm,
One of
because of the weather.
Yes, one of the most exciting things I saw when I was traveling, I went to Alexandria in Egypt, and they have date trees growing, and dates fall on the pavement. That was wonderful. I've only ever seen them in England in little boxes that we import. So to see the trees and them just falling on the pavement seemed like magic to me.
we have quite um, uh, strange custom taken from the USSR to have the second house in the countryside where we grow everything in the way of vegetables from potatoes
Oh,
to, and even if we look at the channel of RD, he shows his I don't know, cherries, some kind of,
yes,
and
lovely cherry tree.
and moreover, it brings us quite a large amount of food. After all,
Mhm.
if someone from your family stick to such kind of activity, uh, this person may bring may provide you with any kind of vegetables within the year. Do you have the second houses, or you live in the countryside mostly?
Some people do, but you have to have a lot of money to be able to do that. In England, I live in a small house in the middle of the city, and I have a small garden. But when my son was very young, I had what's called an allotment. It's a small piece of land that you can hire just to grow vegetables. And it's just big enough to grow all the vegetables and fruit that a family of four would need. So I used to love having my allotment. But then as my son got older and I needed to do more work, I just didn't have the time. So I don't have the allotment anymore. But I've still got fruit, fruit and some vegetables in the garden. I've got pots out there now with tomatoes growing in them, and courgettes and squash. Um, and planted in the ground, I have raspberry bushes. What else? Strawberries, blackberries. And I did have some asparagus, but that just got too old. I very sadly had to dig it up last year, so I missed that. But yeah, it's lovely having an allotment. You feel like you've got your own little bit of countryside or something.
In addition, we were given those places in the countryside, property in the countryside by the USSR government. And
right.
I read an article according to that, where one after present Russian people as people who carrying a lot of heavy things in order to build his own house in the countryside without any money, just from everything they can find. For instance, even
Yes.
it can be some kind of trash, but it depends on your luck and how much money do you earn. But nevertheless, it's just maybe it's invoke us to the countryside, our nature,
Yes.
draw us there.
Lovely. Yes. Anyone else like to talk? You're quiet today, Alexandra.
Yes, Alexandra, you're talking, yeah? Okay. Alexandra?
Yeah.
You're very quiet today. Talk to us about, do your family grow any vegetables?
Vegetables. No, we have only house for plants because I live in a flat. We don't have the garden, at least in my area where I live. Usually, people can have some gardens if they live in the countryside.
Yeah.
But most people in Russia live in flats.
Right.
They have the second house in the countryside. Most of them, it's popular here in Russia. They grow some vegetables and fruits there. Even some of my relatives grow some potato, and maybe tomato.
Yeah.
Like that. Vegetables. But you know, for me, as I said, I'm bad at planting. I like to live in some areas where I can grow some fruits. I would say a fruit garden. No vegetables.
You know, when I had my allotment, the man on the next allotment to mine, he didn't grow any vegetables at all. He just grew grass. And he liked to take a deck chair and sit out in the sunshine because he didn't have a garden at all. It's not really what allotments are for, but that's fine. It's what he enjoyed doing. I'm just going to say hi to Hoe. What's your name? The lady who's just joined us.
Howie, reveal yourself.
Howie. I'm terrible with not English names, but welcome. It's nice to see you.
I think it's the name of the phone. Come on, reveal your name.
Miss Huawei.
Hello, my name is Sola. Sorry.
Hi. You're very welcome.
Thank you.
So, where do you live?
I'm living Kurdistan.
Oh, right.
Oh, cool. You too.
You've heard us talking about plants here. Do you have any garden? Can you grow plants?
Sorry, my English not good yet.
That's okay. That's okay. That's what we're here for.
Harry?
Don't be shy. Tell us what you can. Do you have a garden or do you live in a flat?
Live in a special home. No garden.
No garden.
No flat.
Okay, yeah. Do you have plants inside?
Sorry?
Do you have plants inside like these?
Yeah?
Yes. You like your house plants, we call that.
Yeah.
Bestern just now was showing us a bit of his garden. I could briefly see a tree.
Well, yeah, you know,
Very nice.
the thing is, I can show you the garden, but I cannot name the vegetable or the plant because I'm terrible at doing that.
That's okay.
You know, my sister knows this, but I'm like, what is
that
this?
looks lovely.
I can show you. I can show you. That's it. I don't know. You
That
know how.
looks so nice.
Just call them tree, a second tree, and the third tree.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you know, Vladimir, you know, the problem arises when I don't know how to count or I miss counting. Right, just say 1, 2, 3. But it is very hot, you know, out there. That's why I just, you know, I can bear it for like 5 minutes. Otherwise, I'm gonna melt. You know, I'm gonna melt like someone who just, you know, come from the icy water. So yeah, I don't want to just look like that because I just got, you know, out from the, you know, let's say the bathroom.
Yeah.
So I don't have to go out, you know, then again.
Yes.
Okay, spare yourself.
Yeah, you gotta spare myself one over there.
I know what is it to have hot weather because we have the same in Ufa. But how long does it last? I mean, in your country, we have such hot days. From when we have such hot days, it lasts from early morning till the end of the day. But I never heard about such weather in your country.
Let me just ask you about this. How many seasons do you have?
4.
We have 2.
Yeah, just one.
In the
Who
area.
said that we have 1? Who said that we have 1?
I said about your climate, not my climate. About your climate. You see, I think you have just one climate. Yeah, one climate zone.
We have 2, only 2. But our winter is kind of like very, very short. Our winter, but the summer, we don't like it. I don't like it, you know, personally.
England's the other way round. Summer lasts 2 weeks, and then the rest of the time it's winter. It seems like.
I've read about London. You know, it says that 255 days in a year raining. I'm like, what? What?
Yeah, we get lots of rain here, but it does make England very green. I like it.
You know, that's because you don't have enough sun. Because when it rains, you need sun, you know, in order to just, you know, make the things brighter or green.
I always dreamt to live somewhere where it's always raining. I don't like neither weather nor summer. I feel perfectly when I have weather in my city or rainy weather in my city. That's why I dream about moving to such climate country with
great
people.
So what about you, Jane? You know, does the let's say the weather affect of the way you planned?
Well, like I say, we do get a lot of rain here. I've been frustrated recently because we're all in lockdown and we're not supposed to be going out except for a little bit of exercise. But when I go over to the park when it's sunny, the park is so crowded. I've been over there today and it's much nicer because it's cooler today. So at the moment, I'm liking cool weather because it keeps the people in their houses.
Good. And what about this statement? Is it true? it says that, you know, when the, let's say I'm talking about British. When British get angry, that means the weather
I can't
kinda,
hear you. Lift your mic up. Thank
okay.
you.
Okay. This statement is, you know, tell me if it's true or not. It says that British people are getting angry when the weather is very bad. That's
No,
true?
no. We're used to bad weather. We get bad weather all the time. But British people say there's no such thing as bad weather. It's bad clothing. If you're cold, put some clothes on. But we're used to it. It's okay, you know.
Just like us, we get used to, you know, the sun, and yeah, just, you know, we gotta be out. But if you want to be in the house, so you have to have air conditioner and the other stuff. Otherwise, you're gonna just, you know, feel disturbed. Not good.
We don't have air conditioners here, or not many people do, because you don't really need it. We don't get many hot days.
We have 3 tabs.
Oh, we need lots of heaters here because it gets cold more than hot.
We only use one type, you know, when it's in winter, to heat up.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the winter is not like, you know, the winter of Game of Thrones. It doesn't last, you know, longer.
Right. Yeah. No, it's the opposite here.
That's why most of the Kurdish people, when they just jump into, let's say, UK, they're like, oh, the weather is very, very cold. They don't get used to this. That's why they just say, they're nagging about the weather.
Yeah.
So I was like, so you know this. London is like that. The weather in London is like that. So you have to be prepared, you know, before you go there.
Yes. I have some friends who are from California, and they say they love the English weather because you look out in the morning, you don't know if it's going to be sunny or rainy. They say they love it when it's misty, because in California, you look out the window, every day it's sunny. It's never different.
But it's okay, I think. Why is it that? I like sunny weather. I enjoy it. Because after coming here to central Ukraine, I started living in much more colder climate. It's not okay for me. Well, now only 2 days we have really warm weather here. Because people always say it's summer and people wearing jackets. It's not normal. I don't understand. I feel not fine. It's cold, but people say, oh, we don't like heat. When we have 25, they say very hot weather, everyone is sick. So they can say, what? 25 is cold, it's hot? So you're crazy, 25. It's not for summer. It's not summer weather. It should be much warmer for feeling summer. And now I am struggling here. I'm really struggling. I want hot weather. I want to see sea, because it was my original place where I am coming from. And I feel summer only when it's hot, when there are lots of fruits, and when you see, when you have this possibility to swim in the sea. But very interesting moment, I want to emphasize, when I'm getting older, I don't know why, but now I'm afraid of sea. Not afraid of, but I am very careful. Because maybe 10 years ago, I was absolutely not afraid. I was swimming where I wanted. But now, especially in hot weather, in really hot weather, yes, when I start swimming, I feel very, very careful. I don't know why. I don't know. Something interrupts me all the time, because it's, I don't know why. Water is warm, climate is perfect, but I don't go far. I always stay not far from the coastline. I don't know why. Now I feel that water is really dangerous. Maybe it's with the time coming. I don't know. Maybe it's my complex. What do you think about it?
Sorry.
People here are getting a bit frustrated because we had lockdown and very hot weather for 8 weeks. And now that lockdown is opening up a little bit and people are allowed to travel, it's gone really cold. So they're frustrated. We were stuck in our houses when it was nice and warm.
Okay, I understand.
Vyacheslav, I still
Yes,
want.
yes.
I'm still wondering if you were born in Crimea.
No. I was not born in Crimea. I was born in Mariupol. It's not Crimea. My ancestors are coming from Crimea, but that's a long story. That's a story of my ancestors. But Mariupol is on Azov Sea. It's not Black Sea. It's Azov Sea. It's not far from, but it takes you some time to get from Mariupol to Crimea. Some hours, maybe 5 hours. I don't know. It's not on the same place. It's different.
Seeing that, I was born right there, and even but that I live in Russia, I completely condemn behavior of our government that they turn out of your country, turn from your country this incredible piece of land, and I still think that it belongs to Ukraine.
Well, this is not blame of your people. This is blame of government. People
Only
are
government.
absolutely not responsible. People, they just live. They just continue living like at any other place. They are not responsible. Maybe someone who comes to Ukraine with weapons, they are responsible, but not regular people. Absolutely, they just live their lives. It's not a cause for blaming. I don't know. So it's not a good topic for discussion.
Yes, I just wanted you to know.
Vladislav, but we shouldn't really talk politics because it's about things that the government do. What we should be talking about today is things that ordinary people do. And like we were saying earlier, we have such a lot in common. So let's focus on that and forget what governments are doing. I'm going to get really cross if I talk about what the English government are doing at the moment. So better to keep off of that one.
Okay, you're right. Absolutely. It's better to talk about plants, oceans, climate, weather, tasty vegetables and fruits. Yeah. About vegetables. Very interesting information you gave about how vegetables are spreading all over the world. Very interesting fact. In Ukraine, for example, in southern Ukraine, we didn't know zucchinis. Even before the Second World War, only after the Second World War, zucchini started. Zucchini is a kind of vegetable, you know. They started spreading in Ukraine. I don't know where it came from. Maybe from Southern Europe. Maybe someone brought it to our country. Well, I can't explain how some kind of vegetables. What you say?
Zucchini.
Zucchinis.
I think it's from Italy.
Italy. But because this kind of vegetable, it has very short history in our country. Very short history. But now everyone takes it like usual. But I asked my granny and she said, in my young years, we didn't have it in Ukraine. We didn't know it in Ukraine. It's a very interesting fact how vegetables are coming from one country to another. Potato knows everyone, but some kinds of vegetables, they are not usual for every place. I don't know. What you know about it? Huh? Vladimir, what you know about zucchinis, for example?
Zucchinis? I don't even know what it is.
It's kind of vegetable. This is like small pumpkin. Small pumpkin. Yeah.
It seems I ran into something like this.
My mother likes to cook zucchini or zucchini. So I'm like, mother, if you do this, please put some meat in it. I'm gonna eat it. Otherwise, I'm not gonna eat it. Because I'm not vegetarian. I'm not vegetarian. I like meat a lot. So.
Oh, you have lots of sheep. You have lots of sheep in your region, yeah? And you eat sheep meat.
Oh yes, we slaughter a lot. We slaughter a lot of sheep, and especially during the Eid. You know,
Oh, yes.
before Eid, Ramadan, and
Yeah.
other one iftar.
You have a big feast in Eid, didn't you?
Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah.
If you're excited enough, you're gonna enjoy every second. But if you don't have the mood to celebrate, you're not gonna do it. Just like me, I'm not gonna do it because I want to do everything myself.
Right.
I don't want to be in a crowded places all the time.
Yeah.
But my mother is like, don't just isolate yourself from people. I'm like, I'm with people, but not these people.
But you are not like isolating yourself. You're talking to people. I very often see you in chat, so it's not isolation.
I'm talking about isolation from my citizen.
But he chooses person who talk to.
I think that many people live online now, and this is not isolation. This is reality of our life. You don't have time to be outside.
It's our future. Online education, online work, travel. I don't know.
Oh, we're traveling, through spaces now. Now I'm in London. I'm in Russia. I'm in I'm in Ukraine, in Kurdistan. Physically.
That's true. Yes.
We just choose people who do it like to talk to, and it is incredible. We are not restrained by distances and so on. We shouldn't save money to go to see people we like. We just turn on our computer and get in touch. What could be better?
Yes.
Yes.
For me,
share your idea.
I don't like consuming, so I'm using this. I pay the bill of the internet much better than you pay for the travel to somewhere else, even though you don't know anything about the country. That's terrible. If you don't know about the country and you go there, you still go there.